Lesson 2 for January 2 to 8, ready for teaching on January 9, Crisis of Leadership, read by Dr. Percy Harrold. Monday, January 4, Holy, Holy, Holy. Our text for today is Isaiah chapter 6, verses 1 to 4. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord sitting on a throne, high and lifted up, and the train of his robe filled the temple. Above it stood seraphim. Each one had 6 wings. With 2 he covered his face, with 2 he covered his feet, and with 2 he flew. And one cried to another and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. And the posts of the door were shaken by the voice of him who cried out, and the house was filled with smoke. Notice what was happening here in the first 4 verses of Isaiah 6. The king dies during great political turmoil. The Assyrians are on the warpath. For Isaiah, it could have been a fearful time when he was not sure who was in control. And then what happens? While taken in vision, Isaiah gazed upon the blazing glory of God upon his throne, heard the antiphony of shining seraphim, or burning ones, calling out the words, Holy, 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 felt the resultant seismic shaking of the floor beneath him, and peered through swirling smoke as it filled the temple. It must have been a stunning experience for the prophet. For sure, Isaiah now knew who was in control, despite outward events. Question: where is the Lord in this vision? Verse 1 of Isaiah chapter 6, In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord sitting on a throne, high and lifted up, and the train of his robe filled the temple. Why would the Lord make an appearance to Isaiah here as opposed to anywhere else? Let's have a look at Exodus chapter 25 and verse 8. And let them make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them. And Exodus 40 verses 34 to 38. Then the cloud covered the tabernacle of meeting, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. And Moses was not able to enter the tabernacle of meeting, because the cloud rested above it, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Whenever the cloud was taken up from above the tabernacle, the children of Israel would go onward in all their journeys. But if the cloud was not taken up, then they did not journey till the day that it was taken up. So the cloud of the Lord was above the tabernacle by day, and fire was over it by night, in the sight of all the house of Israel throughout all their journeys. Ezekiel, Daniel, and John were in exile when they received their visions in Ezekiel chapter 1 and Daniel chapter 7, 9, and 10, and Revelation 4 and 5. Just in case there was a misprint, I'm going to read Daniel 7 verses 9 and 10. I watched till thrones were put in place, and the Ancient of Days was seated. His garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head was like pure wool. His throne was a fiery flame, its wheels a burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. 1,000 thousands ministered to him. 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The court was seated, and the books were opened. Like Isaiah, they needed special comfort and encouragement that God was still in charge, even though their world was falling apart. Daniel and Ezekiel were captives in a pagan nation that had destroyed their own, and John had been exiled to a lonely island by a hostile political power. No doubt, these visions helped give them what they needed to stay faithful, even during a crisis situation. Ellen G. White, writing in Prophets and Kings, page 307, says, As Isaiah beheld this revelation of the glory and majesty of his Lord, he was overwhelmed with a sense of the purity and holiness of God. How sharp the contrast between the matchless perfection of his Creator and the sinful course of those who, with himself, had long been numbered among the chosen people of Israel and Judah. End of quote. The transcendent holiness of God, emphasized in Isaiah's vision, is a basic aspect of his message. God is a holy God, and he demands holiness from his people, a holiness he will give to them if only they will repent, turn from their evil ways, and submit to him in faith and obedience. And so to finish today, all of us have been in discouraging situations, where, from outward appearance, all seemed lost. And even if you didn't get a vision of the glory of the Lord, as did Isaiah here, recount the ways in which the Lord was able to sustain you and your faith during these crises. What have you learned from these experiences that you could share with others?
Hi there. Thanks for watching this video on the Advent-band Ministries YouTube channel. Please subscribe and click the bell icon to be alerted whenever we upload new videos. So, until we meet him in the clouds, may God continue to bless you.
This lesson was read by Dr. Percy Harrold for Christian Services for the Blind. It's supported by the Sabbath School Department and Hope Channel Australia, and is rebroadcast by Christian Record Services and through podcasts at It Is Written in the United States, Hope Channel Germany, and through Apple iTunes and SoundCloud. Remember, God is always faithful.